3 men and 1 woman were arrested on gun and drug charges at an upscale hotel in Denver ahead of the MLB All-Star Week. During a press conference on Sunday, Denver's mayor cautioned against speculation about the events surrounding the arrests since an investigation is ongoing. The Denver police chief said the arrests were made on Friday after an employee at the hotel saw something suspicious and called police. 2 hotel rooms were searched and guns and drugs were found, according to Police Chief Paul Pazin. In a statement, the FBI said there was no reason to believe the incident was connected to terrorism or a threat directed at the All-Star game. 3 days of events will be held at Coors Field, and city officials assure event-goers people should feel safe if attending those events. The 4 people who were arrested were all in their 40s, and it's unclear if they were from the area.
Well, Sunday marked day 18 of the recovery effort at the site of the condo collapse in Surfside, Florida, and the death toll now stands at 90, with 31 people remaining potentially unaccounted for. Miami-Dade Mayor Daniela Levine Cava says 71 of the 90 victims have been identified, and so far more than 14 million pounds of concrete and debris have been hauled away from the site. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue Chief Alan Kaminsky detailed the process that recovery teams have taken to recover victims in the rubble, saying that stairwells are primary search areas.
Hundreds of protesters took to the Florida streets to speak out about the unrest in Cuba. Protesters in Tampa and Orlando were seen holding signs, waving flags, and calling for support for the Cuban people. The economic situation on the island has worsened, with Cubans worrying about the lack of food, medicine, and electricity in homes and workplaces. Thousands of Cubans are protesting the government there, and this is the largest anti-government protest on the island since 1994, when it was against the then leader Fidel Castro. Similar cries of "down with the dictatorship," "freedom," and "homeland and life" were heard in demonstrations both here in the U.S. and in Cuba. In a press conference, Miami's mayor called for international intervention led by the U.S.
In Washington, President Biden takes on 2 big issues this week: gun violence and voting rights. NBC's Tracy Potts will tell us more.
Bringing down violent crime in their communities.
Later today, President Biden and Attorney General Merrick Garland meet with local leaders, law enforcement, and elected officials on the administration's plan to reduce gun crimes. Homicides are up 30% in the past year and a half. Last month, the White House announced a strategy that includes community interventions, new law enforcement tools, and cracking down on the flow of firearms. At last weekend's CPAC conference, conservatives called it an assault on gun rights.
The same far-left Democrats who are defunding police are also leading an all-out crusade to strip you, the law-abiding citizens of America, of your God-given Second Amendment rights.
President Biden also turns his attention to voting rights with a speech in Philadelphia tomorrow.
He will make the moral case to the American people on why the right to vote is fundamental to who we are as a nation.
It comes as Texas lawmakers debate limiting 24-hour and drive-through voting. A source familiar says Democrats are considering another walkout there. The state's governor defends Republican proposals.
We are providing more hours per day for voting to make sure that anybody of any type of background, any type of working situation is going to have the opportunity to go vote.
The Biden administration is hoping to create federal law to combat voting restrictions being considered in several states. Tracy Potts, NBC News.